Hi, sorry, I got cut off there. I reached my maximum time I could record on my phone. So here I am again. So I was just explaining here that to find side H, I'm going to use cos, which is adjacent on top, the 6 divided by the hypotenuse. When what you're looking for is on the bottom, you can do the switching trick. So you actually have H being equal to 6 divided by the cos of 53. So we just go 6 divided by the cos of 53 equals 9.96, but we can just round that up to 10 if we round. So H equals 10. Okay, there you go. I'm going to skip C. It was just like A. I'm just going to do one more, just for the sake of time here. The video is already getting long. And the questions are all fairly similar. So I'll just do one more. And remember, there's so many different ways you can do any of these. So if I look at D, I know I'm looking for an angle X, an angle Z, and a side Z. Okay, so I'm looking for two angles and a side. This is the angle given, 90 degrees, and I know the 5 and the 12. There are so many ways you could start. It's totally up to you. Say you want to start with Z. You want to find Z first. Okay, well, if you want to find Z first, you actually can't use sine, cos, or tan here, because I told you I don't want you using sine, cos, or tan with 90. I only want you using sine, cos, or tan with one of the other angles, which we don't have. So if you're dead set against finding side Z first, you still can, but with the Pythagorean theorem, because you're given the other two sides. So C is always reserved for the hypotenuse, which happens to be what we're looking for. So I'm going to plug 5 and 12 in for my A and my B, my other two sides. 5 squared is 25. 12 squared is 144. When I add those together on the left-hand side, I get 169. And then when I want to square root each side to get C all by itself, the square root of 169 is exactly 13. So I just found that Z is 13. Okay, so now for the next two, it has to be angles that I'm looking for. I have to use sine, cos, or tan here to find one of them. Once I find one of them, say this one, I can use the 180 rule to find the third. So say I want to find Z. You can look for X2 first. It doesn't matter, but I'm just choosing Z because I have to choose something. So for angle Z, this is my eyeball where I'm looking from. I have 5, 12, 13. I have any side I want to use. So I could do opposite hypotenuse, that would be sine. I could do adjacent hypotenuse, that would be cos. Or I could do opposite adjacent, that would be tan. It totally doesn't matter. Let's go for sine, okay? So if I'm doing sine of angle Z, I know sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite over hypotenuse, 5 over 13. I'm looking for an angle, so I'm going to go shift sine, and I want it of 5 divided by 13, and that gives me 22.6. I'm going to round that up to 23 degrees. So I just found that this is 23 degrees right here. So very easily to find my other remaining angle, angle Z, I go 180 minus 90 minus 23. 180 minus 90 is 90, and 90 minus 23 is 67. And there you go. So like I've said several times, there are so many different ways you can go about it. As long as you find the 3 answers in the end, you're golden. I don't care what order you go in and how you choose to do it. Okay, so there'll be an assignment attached. And like I said, this will be the last lesson. So stay tuned to kind of a final assessment for Unit 2.